Hey guys, I'm X92 and welcome back to another tryout. Today's tryout I am calling the Switch Shovelware Showcase, and so I'll be talking about a couple games. To preface this, I spent $6 to get these. I bought them on sale on the eshop, specifically to make this video. And the reason I'm bringing that up will be evident at the end. So, I bought them on sale, I didn't spend that much. Anyway, on with the thing. So to start with, we are talking about .cat Milk. If you've been around the channel for a while back, can't remember exactly how long, I covered a game called .cat. It's a period cat. And this is seemingly a sequel, but it has a different developer, same publisher, but seemingly a different developer from what I can find. And I've got to say, it's significantly better than the original game. And while I think the original game's visual style is better, it controls the same, pretty much. The fact that .cat Milk is these specific levels, they're one screen, and they're basically just little platforming challenges, rather than the original game just sort of meandering around a map with very little direction, where you might be walking and you'll just find signs pointing in two different directions, and you can seemingly just walk infinitely in either of them, and you don't know what you're doing. There's no real goal, it doesn't seem. Like, I don't know how you win it, or whatever. .cat Milk is, you start here, and you want to go over here to get the milk bowl, and then you want to get back. And that's all the levels, and it's simple. And as you play more levels, they get harder. It's still rudimentary. It's an alternate Flash game in the amount of quality that it has, really. Because, like, this just seems like it's something someone was like, hey, build a platformer based on this. Go. We'll give you, like, 20 bucks. And they're like, okay, I guess we'll just put things and, you know, we'll make it challenging by making the jumps really precise, but there's not a lot of precision. It's not terrible to control, but like, if you hold down the jump button, you'll just jump in place over and over again, which isn't the best situation. It leads to some very wonky things in the original game, and it's still sort of like weird. But .cat Milk is it's significantly better. But significantly better doesn't mean up to the standard of, you know, platformers in this day and age. There are way, like, moons, like, light years better platformers out there, even in this sort of style of thing where you're just playing these little one-screen levels. Like, no? Like, again, way better than the first one. And, you know, if they keep improving on it or whatever, I don't think that's the point. I don't know that this is this is made by, like, one guy who's, like, really just trying to make their games that doesn't really feel like what's going on here. You can feel that with some things. This feels like some publisher is out there making the least effort things they can and tossing it on the Switch because a lot of people have a Switch. And it fails. Duh. Like, no. Now, for the second game I want to talk about is AAA Clock. This is one that I know about mostly because, like, a gaming news show that I watch was frequently talking about it because it was just such an interesting thing. It is a clock for the Nintendo Switch. It's a clock. Tells you what time it is. That's all it does, pretty much. It's a clock. There's like a little mini game in here that you can access, but like, for one, you can't see the time while you're playing it, so why would you do that? And for two, it's just like an endless runner, and it's pretty rudimentary. I tried to see if I could go far enough and that there were more mechanics added, but it seems like it's just an endless runner and that's it. And then you just move from one side of the screen towards the other, and you jump over things. Doesn't seem to be any other mechanics to it, so it's very rudimentary in that manner. But, like, there's a lot of clock customization options. You can change the colors. There's a couple different themes in here. The themes are technically downloadable content, but they're free, so you can just get them when you buy AAA Clock all together. My one thing is just that, like, the Switch should just do this. This should just be functionality built into the console. But Nintendo is lacking on any functionality built into this console, so I can't really complain that somebody decided to step up and fulfill some of the functionality that was not fulfilled by Nintendo. Because, like, unlike the DSi shop and stuff, there were clock apps by Nintendo. So I don't know why Nintendo doesn't have one on here. Maybe because it's stupid to have to pay for a clock. And I mean, like, even the Switch has a clock in the thing. Like, there's a clock on the main screen. So there is a clock, but you can't put it full screen like this. And, you know, this is kind of nice to have. So, like, if you want your Switch to be a Game & Watch, where you can play games and also make it a clock, sure, AAA Clock is here. Nintendo won't let you do that, so third-party developers have to step up and fulfill these productivity and other types of situations, the apps side of things. I guess it passes. Like, it's not a scam. I don't know why you would need it, but I guess it is nice to be able to, like, just slap a clock up on your monitor or something. That's cool. Buy it on sale, but, like, you don't need it. But I can't really fault it existing, and I don't necessarily regret purchasing it. This should just be built-in functionality on the Switch. Nintendo, really, you let this happen. And for the final game of this episode, if you want to call it that, is Night Vision. This is barely anything. What it does, the Joy-Con has an IR sensor on it. This specifically the right Joy-Con. And so what it does is it allows you to see what this camera picks up. That's it. It puts a overlay on top of it. You can point this around and see things in the very low quality camera that has. And that's it. No settings, no changing the overlay. It disables the ability to capture through the Switch itself. The Switch's built-in capture stuff, I just captured using capture card. Why, Nintendo, why did you let this on the store? This is like textbook definition of shovelware. It's barely software. It almost does nothing. I'm insulted. I'm insulted. I gave these people $2 and they didn't deserve it. Again, this could just be functionality built into the Switch where you can just go into a mode and it lets you see what the IR sensor sees. Why was this let on the eShop? Why was this let on the eShop? This is not worth money. This, like, you could make an application that does this that isn't such a blatant shovelware cash grab that, like, Maybe you have different overlays. Maybe you have any settings. Maybe you can do anything, but there is nothing. There is nothing. It just shows you the output of the IR sensor with an overlay over it that makes it borderline useless. Yeah, sure. You can see things in the dark, but you gotta be this close to them. Like, you gotta be, like, this close to see anything. I'd say .cat milk, I shouldn't have spent $2 on it. I don't regret spending $2 on it, but I shouldn't have. AAA Clock, kind of weird, unnecessary, but it is a quality product, despite being somewhat unnecessary. Night vision is trash and should not be on the eShop. Plain and simple. It just shouldn't be there. They just should not have this should not have passed Nintendo's quality control to let things on the eShop. Full stop. I obviously fail. Bottom of the barrel, probably the worst piece of software that I have talked about on the channel, because it's almost nothing. It is almost nothing. Like, this reminds me of stuff that I used to see on the Xbox indie game store, but worse somehow. You know, like, this reminds me of, like, the vibrate your controller app that, like, why would I buy that? What do I need that for? I can think of reasons why someone would buy it, but, like, it's so unnecessary. This is somehow worse. Why? Even at the discounted $2 prices I spent, pretty much none of this is worth it. AAA Clock, I guess that's worth $2. But, like, you don't need it. The Switch has a clock. And I mean, it's not big on the full screen, but, like, it already has a clock. AAA Clock literally uses the Switch's built-in clock to get the time. You don't need it, but it's kind of cool. It's all right. The themes are cool. Whatever. You know. No. Don't buy shovelware. Don't buy any of this stuff. Really, like, unless you really, really want a clock app, don't buy any of this stuff. Don't spend the money. I shouldn't have spent the money. I spent the money because I'm dumb, because I wanted to make this stupid video, and then I would not buy any more of this stuff, because I've spent $8 on Switch shovelware, including the original .cat video, and I'm not doing it anymore. So I'm not going to talk about this stuff I'm not going to talk about this kind of shovelware anymore, because you shouldn't buy it. Full stop. That's the video. Go to the description, find links to all sorts of places. Like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't. Subscribe if you want to keep with us in other shows. Leave a comment. Have you purchased any Switch shovelware? What did you buy? Let me know in the comments. Have you bought any of this? Do you think AAA Clock is kind of cool, or am I being silly? Comments. Share the video. Do the things. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!